What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode with your boy Phrankleen. Well, if this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. Um, if you like my videos, be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Look through the playlist for my say it like it is videos. Right? Good morning, Abby. How you doing, bro? Thank you for hi, Edith. So, story time. The interesting thing about this one. Good morning, Bali. The interesting thing about this one is, hey, Janet, how you doing? Is there was an email from a guy as well as a lady, so it's from both parts. Okay, so I decided to amalgamate both of them and you know, do this video. So basically, the recent email came from this gentleman, and he was talking about issues, with his wife and stuff like that. So basically, they live in the States, and his mother has been to the States twice, who lives in Nigeria. So he invited his mom, and mom came to stay with them. And now, according to the email, he said his wife, you know, been great. They had a healthy relationship, an amazing relationship, and stuff like that. And but I think on the second visit, his mom's second visit to the state, there were issues arising because he said his wife was complaining about mom meddling in the personal marital affairs, and then basically when he's gone out to work, or she, because he said she works part-time at the moment and then has to go get children from school and stuff, wife, the things he regards as petty. So he says his mom would say, why are you eating, that number of meat? You're still going to eat tonight. Why don't you just eat two pieces of meat or one piece of chicken or things like that, right? So those things, it's like a woodpecker, starts to get to you, start to infuriate you and stuff like that. And then she would sit back and just finger snap and say, don't do this. I'm watching that channel. If you want to watch something else, go into your bedroom. My son bought the TV. My son must have done this. This is my son's house. The usual templates, right? So this has led to so much problems and stuff like that. And there's a lot of back and forth. So according to him, the his wife, he said to me in the email that his wife is a very accommodating woman. So I took note of that bit. And then, but now the mother has made a trip to the States for the third time. And what happened was, on this particular trip, the mother said she was going to be in the States, stay with them for, I think, about a month and a half, which will be about 6 weeks, right? But then But then suddenly the mother changed her mind and said, oh, the guy's mom then said, oh, I'm staying with you guys for 4 months. So the wife pulled him into the bedroom and said, what? She's staying with us for 4 months. This wasn't agreed. This wasn't what you told me. And then she then said, I cannot be under the same roof, with your mom for 4 months or four and a half or whatever. And then it became a massive argument because of the woman's meddling into their affairs and whatnot. So apparently they've already had an episode in the past because it took a while, about 6 years into the marriage before she got pregnant. But that was some medical complications. But before they got to the point that she got pregnant, she's been dragged through hell. There's been a lot of how do I say, verbal attacks and ill treatment. But basically, I so wish that I could read an email from this lady, but this came from the dude. So basically, he was saying, look at this that my missus is doing. She's basically trying to destroy the marriage. And trust me, if you know me, I mean, at least from me making videos, I try to be objective. And I lambasted him. I went back. I went really hard on him. And I told him that from my point of view, this is just advice. You don't have to take it, but you are sure. You are acting like a child. This to me is unbelievable level of immaturity. And I want to talk about three bullet points very quickly before I crack on. So I've got something here. Your wife should not feel like she is in a competition with your mother for love, respect, and adoration. It should never be so. I would never understand. I'm talking personally now. I will never understand why some men, some dudes, you know, would feel that their wives and their mom should, a mother that comes into your relationship and starts to say, "Hey, don't eat two pieces of meat. Don't eat three pieces of meat. Oh, my son bought the TV." I'm sorry, but that person is up to no good, if that makes sense. So I have that first bullet point. Number two, after marriage, our relationship with our parents must change. Spouse and kids come first. I would have thought that a lot of people, both male and female, would understand this. You know, I always say something. You have your heart. You love your mom and dad. They raised you. Nobody's refuting that claim. Nobody's saying because you're married, because you're now in a relationship, throw your mother in the bin. No, but you should understand that you have your own family now, who is maybe your woman and your children, or your husband and your children. So that relationship must come first. Then your mom and dad and siblings, and the list goes on. You must learn to compartmentalize, the love for different parties. My woman, my wife, the love for her is totally different. I've said this in a previous video, and it's nothing to do with my mother. But the moment you think you can drag your mother into a relationship and start using your mother, your relationship with your mother, or your love for your mother or your father as a yardstick, and then imposing it on your partner, that relationship is bound to fail. You don't even need to be a relationship expert. Even a 5-year-old child can deduce. I honestly don't get why people do this. Why you invite unnecessary complexity and you start imposing your mother. Now, there's a totally different point where if someone is just being obnoxious, because I understand there are some partners that are absolutely not accommodating. They're disrespectful, whereby they don't even want to see anybody around. So say for example your mom is just going to come greet you for a week. They don't even want her there 24 hours, or talk less of staying for a week or a day or 2 days or whatever. There are people whereby they're just disrespectful, they're rude. That might have come from the way they were raised or whatever experiences. I'm aware. But for the most part, particularly from a man's point of view, the point I'm making is, if you're not going to put your foot down, if you're not going to protect your woman or protect your children, protect your home, why bother getting married? Because if you live alone, if you're single, your mother comes to your house, she decides to do whatever. If it's your mother in the kitchen telling you not to eat three or four pieces of meat or two pieces of meat, that's between you and your mother. That has nothing to do with the public. But then you profess you proclaim your love for this woman or for this man. You claim to love the other party. You promise them that you'd have a good life together and all that stuff. And then you impose your mother on them or your father on them. I don't get it. Because to me, this is how people, invite unnecessary complexities. And you can be rest assured that it goes down the drain from that point. It gets worse and it gets absolutely ruined. Anyway, my third point, unity is crucial, which blends with, point number two. Basically, your relationship must remain impenetrable. It's very important. You must not allow access of flagrant access into your relationship. The relationship you have with your woman or your man must remain watertight. It's not for families and extended families to start poking, their noses into and stuff like that. Hey, look, it's just advice. It's the way I see it. You don't have to take it, because but I suppose the very simple point that I'm making here is, stop making a mockery of your relationship. Stop gaslighting your relationships. Stop trivializing your relationship with your wife because of your mother's or because of your father's. It never ends well. I mean, that gentleman said to me via email that, oh, he's been married for the first 6 years of their marriage. The wife, for whatever medical complications, didn't get pregnant, and yeah, he knows that his mom, da 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 da, did such and such and such. Must have been a little bit. Everything he's been talking about his mom is a little bit. Why would I'm sorry, but I cannot imagine my mother coming to my house and telling my missus, you got too much pieces of meat in your plate of food. Um, don't touch the TV because my son bought it. That's just absolute garbage. That's ridiculous. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? If you're not, this is why I say to people, relationship comes with a degree of complexity, because why? It's usually an amalgamation of two unique individuals with your set of behavioral pattern and beliefs and stuff. So there will always be the occasional friction. I suppose what makes it work is the constantly finding friendship and finding a common ground, compromise, and things like that. But if you choose to be in a relationship, if you decide to be in a relationship, why don't you just do it properly? That's all I'm saying. Why don't you just do it properly? Because now the guy said to me in the last paragraph of his email that his missus told him that if he doesn't put things right, she may potentially walk away from the relationship. I can imagine the woman very angry. Now, let me digress. There was another email that I got in the past, which was, basically a woman saying her husband, sorry, is it the man? In this case, it's the brother sent me an email and he's saying his woman is not accommodating of his own mom. The previous one, it's the other way around, and I'm saying the same thing, that let your mother, if your mother is very intrusive and all that, you need to put sentiment on the shelf. If your mother comes to spend holiday, what people don't understand is there is no rule in law. And I get it. We would always talk about, oh, it's our culture and stuff. But can I just say to you respectfully, you cannot impose the welfare of your mother or your father on your partner. Do you get it? So your mother wants to come and stay with you for a month. Then suddenly she decided to stay for 4 months. And you expect your woman or your wife to accept that. So the moment she says, huh? You didn't tell me she was going to stay for 4 months. You expect her to be cooking and washing and cleaning for your mom. So then you use that as a yardstick that, oh, she's being disrespectful. She's not being compassionate. Oh, she hates your mom. But why don't you stop in your tracks and mm, try to see from that woman's or that man's point of view? Because these are the things that cause unnecessary problems. Your mother shouldn't come to your house and be telling your wife the number of meat to eat. That's a no no. There was one that I did in a video not too long ago. A mother barging into the bedroom and, um, barging into the bedroom and seeing, the couples making out and stuff like that. That's too much, man. If you have a parent that's doing that, they need to stay where they belong. Let me look at some of the comments. A battle my parents have fought for almost 40 years. Old man is beginning to figure it out. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Let me read some of the comments here. Yeah, not the lady's fault if she decides to walk away. Communication is key. The mother in law is a controller. Da, 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 da. These are the reasons why people fantasize about getting married to orphans because of parents, in-laws. Yeah, you see, the thing is, unfortunately, some of our parents, they grew up in a different, generation and stuff, and again, some of them don't understand the issue of boundaries and stuff. But the parties in the relationship are the ones to enforce the boundaries, if that makes sense. You are the ones to enforce the boundaries. And if you don't, and you are keeping your mother sweet or keeping your father sweet at the detriment of your partner, that relationship is bound to fail. And then it's absolutely unfair. I don't know what that geezer, that gentleman that sent me an email, the I don't know what he was expecting, to hear from me or get as a response. Because I told him, mate, you are setting your roof on fire. It's unacceptable. It's just wrong. It makes no sense. You know, if this is what I believe in, and I'm going to close on this. If a mother comes, a father in law comes and stuff, you see, an environment where there is respect and genuine respect and love from all parties involved, where there is love. So whether your wife is catering to your dad and mom and all of those things will fall into place seamlessly. You wouldn't have to tell your woman to wake up and fix a meal for your mom, where even your mom knows that this woman is caring. She has a long day. She's got kids. She has to go to work and stuff. But here is a mother who is a mother-in-law who is understanding, who wouldn't abuse the hospitality that's been given to her. So even if she stays with you for 3 4 weeks and stuff, she'll be well looked after, and you also reciprocate the love and affection and everyone. But if you come like a dictator and you think it's your god-given right to finger snap and expect the woman to run from pillar to post, you know anyway, what do you think? Do you think differently? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let's keep the conversation going. I've got a busy day ahead of me. It's your boy Phrankleen. If you haven't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep the conversation going on below. And yeah, that's it, man. You know what? What would I say on a closing note? My relationship is my relationship. Okay, my parents, they stay over there. All right. So me and the missus, we're on the same page. You're within your rights to disagree with me. If you disagree, put a credible explanation or reason down in the comments, and let's keep the conversation. Okay. I would actually come back to look at your comments, bro. Don't just say you disagree. Don't talk with sentiments. That thing is an old record. Let's talk with facts. Why do you disagree? Let's learn, let's grow, let's improve ourselves. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.